Today is 4,000 days sober for me. That's a lot of 24 hours. And what did I do? I woke up, prayed per usual. Me and my partner went to the gym. Then we went and got some baby supplies. We got a bath and some bottles and a bottle warmer. I mean, we're about 60 days out, which is fucking crazy. Gonna be a father in 60 days. Went to the Nespresso store, got some pods for an espresso maker. But the crazy part was, on the way back home, I was driving on a pretty main street in Victoria, and there was this lady who looked like she was dead, and everybody was just driving by her and nobody was stopping. She looked like she was sitting on the ground with her legs spread wide open, and her torso was like, her legs and her torso are almost like together. I was like, oh, what the fuck? It's like, is that person dead? So I was like, you know what? I quickly thought to myself, like, you got to check, make sure she's okay or needs an ambulance, or maybe, you know, even worse. So I pulled into the next spot I could, and it was an entrance to another commercial space by a gas station. I just stopped right there and I put the forward flashes on, and I ran out and I tapped on her, and she was warm. So I said, okay, that's usually a good sign, but she didn't move. I said, excuse me. And maybe like 10 seconds later, there was a little bit of movement. Her head was over, but she was just like still fucking flat. And I'm like, oh my God. And slowly she came back to life. Obviously she was incredibly high still. And she sort of came back to life, and I was like, oh, do you need anything? Are you okay? And she wanted me to call an ambulance, and I checked in on her, and she, you know, the cutest thing is like, and before she said anything, she said, thank you so much for stopping, in her muzzled voice, or, but man, it was such a great reminder of what my life could have been. You know, I don't know what my life could have been, but you know, I was never a daily drinker. I was more of a binger partier. But just when you see people trying to manage their own pain through drugs, and they're to a point of being TKO'd, close to death on the side of the road, and nobody stops, right? It's just kind of heartbreaking. You know, I think like that's somebody's daughter, or, yeah, I mean, I'm going to be a dad soon, 60 days around. It could be someone's mom too. And people who are in a recovery, I don't think you really comprehend the addictive mind, right? And everybody, you know, goes to this place of like the drugs are a problem, or, you know, drugs and alcohol are the problem, or blah, blah. It's like, no, it's got nothing to do with that. You know, it's all pain management. It's all, you know, eventually, you know, the drugs and alcohol worked for a way for them to balance themselves out. And then they just crossed that threshold where their body became dependent upon it. And a lot of these drugs, they'll fucking kill you. And today was a lucky one, like this lady. You know, she'll go on hopefully to live another day. But I'm just happy that I had the courage to stop and check in on another life. You know, on a day that I have, 4,000 days clean. It was fucking crazy. Anyways, I've got, you know, one thing I've been turning to is this is the original manuscript. One of my sponsors years ago, an amazing, powerful man, he he got me this book. It's like a study, big book, but it's also got the original manuscript, which is amazing, right? From 1938. And it is different. It is totally different. And I would totally encourage people in recovery to check out the original manuscript. It's another way for you to seek and get into the solution to help tackle your own pain. That's what I've done. Like, I haven't really done much else than what I've been taught by old timers that have been around for some decades, right? You know, I'm not a very trusting individual. I don't know why that is. But when someone's been clean and sober longer than I've been alive, and you get to know them over the years, and the consistency of their statements and their stories and their solutions, you start kind of being like, okay, there's something here. And that's kind of like the tools that have worked for me to stay clean and sober over these 4,000 days. So I know last video I was in the field some, you know, and that's just the way it is. Still hypersensitive, emotional, easily excitable, but I don't have to numb anymore. That's pretty neat, right? I get to explore these feelings, these emotions, and these thoughts. And yeah, I'm here to encourage you guys. Like, I just want to be a cheerleader more than anything. I don't know what's on your path or who's going to mentor you or encourage you, but I think like all of us need a little fire in our belly, a little pat on the back. And yeah, you know, like, I still have so far to go. Like 4,000 days is not that big, you know, compared to a lot of people in recovery. But when we're measuring our success 24 hours at a time, it's kind of a big deal. And I know that you can do it too. It's true. You can do it too. And if nobody's told you this yet today, I love you. And you're worth it.